Hey everyone, today we are joined by Wendell from Level1Techs, and we are going to be looking at a crazy server that is built for AI, and the power density is crazy on this, like 3000. We don't do that here.
It's appealing.
Oh my God. Before that, this video is brought to you by Lee & Lee's LandCool 3 case. The LandCool 3 has a fully mesh front, good airflow that did well in our thermal testing earlier this year, and it's one of the most mechanically advanced cases we've ever reviewed. The LandCool 3 balances ease of installation features, thermal performance, and cable management in a competitive case market. Learn more at the link in the description below. Okay, so Wendell, what is this?
This is a server. This is a server that's optimized for AI and machine learning. This is probably about a $70,000 street price server. It actually has 6 AMD MI210 Instinct cards. Now, the new line of Instinct originally launched at the end of last year, but they're entering general availability. This is what supercomputers like Frontier are built on. And
the good news is, when you're driving this across state lines, you don't have to worry about it being in the car because it weighs 120 pounds. Nobody is taking it.
Yeah, yeah. This is the Supermicro 2114 GT-DNR. So there's actually 2 systems in this one 2U rack mount chassis, and we can sort of dive into it. Yeah.
This looks really cool. So for obviously, power supply comes out. The only thing I know about this so far is that the power supplies are rated for 80 plus titanium.
80 plus titanium, 96% efficient.
And the only reason that's more interesting now than typically, I guess, is because, was I right about, is it 3 kilowatts?
3 kilowatts,
for just this piece.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have 22 typically in a rack.
Yeah, a normal 44U rack, you probably put about 20 of these. But the data center has to be designed for that level of power dissipation. You know, just if you look at like data center design handbooks, they're like, oh, plan on about 25, 30 kilowatts per rack. This is double that. And check out the power supply. 110 volts? I don't think so.
No.
220 is 2,600 watts, but you know your peak and your transient, you can go a little above that.
Right.
And it's 2 for redundancy, but we'll see why we need so much power for that once we dive in a little bit deeper. Let's look at
what is the use case, and are we in at all supercomputer territory with these?
Just the one, no. But a supercomputer would be made out of dozens or hundreds of these.
Right. Okay.
And so this is what we call density optimized.
This is extremely dense with components.
Supermicro has done a lot of work to try to cram as much as possible in here, and they have. So there's literally 3 Instinct 210 cards.
This is really cool construction because you brought something last time. I don't remember what it was. It was an Epyc server, I remember. But the construction here is much different than what I saw previously, where, first of all, as someone who doesn't work on this type of hardware ever, it's cool to see that they've got the basically cardified GPUs, except sandwiched flat just in the chassis and built into it.
Yep.
And then these, I'm assuming, just like all server components, probably don't have their own fans.
No.
So they're being fed by fans within the chassis.
Yeah, they're all at the front. There are 4 doubly redundant fans, meaning that each one of these modules has 2 fans in it. And like last time, each one of those is, 50, 60 watts nominal.
Yeah.
They move a lot of air.
Look at that. Look at the hub on that thing. Yeah. The actual blades are like 30 or 40 millimeters.
This is the type of server that requires hearing protection when you're around.
Perfect.
We can't even turn it on because there's nowhere to plug it in because it's 220 only.
OSHA server territory.
Now we do have I think this is a 64-core AMD Epyc server. We have the dual 100 gig interface for really high-speed interconnect. There's a single M.2 underneath these air baffles.
And I guess Supermicro just sent this to you for you to check out. And
yeah,
do you have a project for this?
Yes, I'm going to be doing a full, probably a couple of videos, a series of videos on this. So the ROCm 5 just launched.
Yes.
And ROCm 5 is AMD's like machine learning, well not really machine learning, but like GPU accelerated math libraries. And ROCm 5 is really a big milestone for AMD because they're getting the software stack for these supercomputers running. And so if you wanted to run your own AI, ML, machine learning, DALL-E, and the Deep Dream stuff is really taking off, and if you want to do your own training and do your own modules, then you can use a system like this to do those kinds of jobs really quickly.
It's really interesting to me too to see Radeon components in here, because it feels like CUDA is so domineering, just in about anything that's professional.
Yeah, NVIDIA has really captured the software stack, and they've done a lot of innovation as far as the GPUs and the hardware. It's good hardware, but chiplets are kind of the future, and AMD is kind of ahead of the game on chiplets. And so this is, if you look at the Instinct stuff, these are multi-chiplet GPUs. It's CDNA, compute DNA.
Right.
So remember that from way back.
I do remember that from last time I really heard about CDNA was probably during some of the Vega discussion.
So this is the... That
was when, didn't they split, right?
Yep.
Okay.
These are the great-great-great-grandchildren of Vega.
I mean, not the proudest you could be of your grandparent, but we all got to start somewhere.
But there is a reason that this as a platform is used in a lot of the top 500 supercomputers now, because this is a great supercomputing platform.
What is this cable? Okay, so we're going from a GPU, I guess, with this into just the board?
Yeah, there wasn't physically room to route it on the PCI Express. I mean, if you look at the motherboard in this sucker, this is not a lot bigger than ITX.
Right.
And it can support 2 terabytes of memory, plus all of the PCIe lanes for maximum interconnect speed between these 3 GPUs.
I know we talked about this last time, but it's still crazy where with these server CPUs, you don't need that much mass or area of fins, because the airflow is just so high that it no longer matters. Can we take a card out just to see how it connects?
Yep. We're going to need a lot of screwdrivers.
What do you need, Phillips 1?
Yep.
Phillips 1. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Level1Techs, check out his channel. We'll link it below. They do a lot of really cool stuff like this. I don't know why I picked one of these up like I'm going to help you. I don't know which screws should come out. Normally, I'm not afraid to take them out. This time, it's not my hardware. So I'm going to let you do that. So, and we have another video, by the way, coming up with working on the server rebuild. So that'll be fun. Have you taken any of this apart yet?
Nope.
They really packed this in there. This is crazy density.
It really is.
Okay, I was just about to ask, because since I don't work on servers, I say that, but I don't actually know how this compares to other servers.
This is absolutely, you are in a data center in like Southern California. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. And you have no more physical room in your data center.
The card looks nice. It's a shame about putting it face down, but.
It's so pretty. And it's still, you know, that's a pretty big heatsink. That's a 2U heatsink.
Right. Yeah, no, that's, we can't see the fin stack from here, but I'm guessing it's just a big stack of fins, especially because there's no fan, so. Yeah,
I'll hold this if you want to pop those screws out, and then it's a regular PCIe card.
To just remove the card?
Yep.
They are covered. Should I pull this?
Yeah, there should be like.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, there's one on the end.
There's screws here. Do those need to come out?
No, just one.
Oh, okay, I see.
I knew there was one more lurking here somewhere.
Is this just socketed, like PCIe socketed?
Yep. We ready to catch
all?
Yep. Yeah, nice.
I can't say it's really ever that I'm hesitant to pull a video card out of a slot. Normally they're not too hard to replace.
Oh, we're only fondling $70,000 of gear.
Yeah, so this is like, so the comment I wanted to make here is the fins don't actually start till most of the way down the card, and they're not that dense, and there's not that much surface area, but because this is not a consumer class card, you're force feeding it air with multiple of these. That's all you need.
Yep.
And you were mentioning it's 300 watts, right?
Yeah, 300 watts through the single 8-pin connector, but that 8-pin connector is a CPU-style 8-pin connector, EPS 12 volts.
Right. Yeah, so EPS 12 volt to all of these is, I'm assuming this is 12VO?
Yep.
Or is it actually 12VO, or
well,
is it just?
It's Supermicro design.
Okay.
So it's mostly 12 volts into here, and then you can see we actually do have an extra auxiliary GPU connector here to feed this, because in other configurations, you're not necessarily dual height MI210s. You might have 4 GPUs in here.
So M12VO, mostly 12 volts only.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we talked about these before, but VRM on this particular board, no direct heat sinks.
No need, because the CFMs through here are just bananas.
Yeah, I do kind of want to test these fans. That would be fun, actually.
We can turn it on, but then it'll be
I think we got it. That's pretty much we got the sound we needed to capture.
There's another cool little.
I can't quite see in here well enough. So there's 2 fans, right? Do you know, is it all one unit? One molding? Okay. So they actually just put 2 fans in the box.
Yeah, and I think they spin in opposite directions for vortex reasons.
That would make sense.
I can't cut it. Oh, let's get a screw.
These cables are interesting too. Is this a PCIe? I know it's doing PCIe, I guess, right? But
PCIe 4. Okay. So this actually is a huge engineering accomplishment for Supermicro, because the PCIe 4 is routed from here. From the CPU, it's routed under the memory, over here, and then from here it's like
coming back up over.
Yeah, but it maintains PCI Express 4 integrity, which is absolutely bananas.
So is this, I guess the shielding on the cable must be significant.
Yep, and this card actually connects here at the bottom as well for PCI Express 4. So we've got, this carrier riser thingy. So we have connections there for that, which is PCI Express 4 by 16, but then we have additional PCIe connections here for another PCI Express 4 by 16.
Right.
So there's
is this a NIC over here?
Yes.
See the back of it. Okay.
Yeah. So this is our dual. I think this is dual 100 gig.
Jesus.
It might be dual 400 gig.
Oh, either one's a lot.
100 gig.
That is quite a big range, though.
200 gigabits of connectivity in this, and we do have the full PCI Express 4.0 by 16 slot. We could put even faster stuff here.
I guess they would typically. Is the usage bonding the 2 ports to, I forget what you called it the other day,
active or multi-channel?
Multi-channel.
So in this configuration, because this is going to go into a supercomputer, usually this is a primary redundant, and they're connected upstream physically to different stuff.
I see.
But in practice, depending on your software stack, you may actually get utilization on both of those.
Cool. And then this is just a heatsink for the controller.
Right. Because it's absolutely insane.
That's crazy. So just for reference for people in our audience who might not, you might want some perspective. So in a Quantia 10 gigabit chip, so if you have a 10 gigabit NIC on your motherboard, a network interface card controller, it might be about this size as this SMD, right, or this, there you go.
It'd be about that big.
Be about that size, and the heatsink would also be about that size, almost exactly.
Yep. And
then over here, you've got like
that
3 times the three times the size and a lot more surface area.
And like you talk about density, and it's like we had all this stuff, and it's like it's a clown car of circuit boards. This is OCP3. It's a new interface. Also, OCP3 is PCI Express 4 capable. I'm not 100% sure if this is actually PCI Express. No, I don't think so. Because this is only a 10 gig card. It's only 10 gigs. So this is meant for like communication and software loading. Okay. And this is meant for cluster-to-cluster communication.
Got it. Okay. So these are meant to communicate with other. For terminology for servers, when you're talking about cluster-to-cluster, are you talking about a group of these?
Yes.
Okay.
So
not just one to the other, but one group to the other group?
Right. And so this is the clown car insanity of server. But wait, there's more. So we'll set that over there for now. And then this is not some weird editing trick or anything like that. I'm going to reach around back here.
Move the power supply.
And there's a whole other node in here.
That's cool.
Configured identically. 3 more GPUs.
It is like a magic trick. You lied to me. I genuinely did not know that was in there. I thought that was it. There's more.
And so this is another completely independent computer.
Okay.
And like in the real world, when you're servicing one of these things, it's like if there's any little problem with this unit in this node, you would pull the whole node. So you just unplug it and just slide it out, and this one would keep on trucking.
Terminology again, node, is it just the, I can't use the word blade because that means something else in servers.
Yeah, it's
just this piece, or is it the whole?
This is a node, so this is a 2-node 2U server, 2N 2U. But the density here is absolutely off the charts because, you know, populating a full rack with these is on the order of 60 kilowatts at peak power draw, which is more than most radio stations.
And again, hence the titanium rated power supplies where you're getting to a point where titanium and platinum at a consumer level, so it's all the same, 80 plus doesn't matter, but at a consumer level, you're talking really about in the maybe dozens of watts at peak load of efficiency difference, maybe, but here with this amount of power,
it's all about heat.
Yeah.
So you have the tiny little fans, and the difference between 90% efficient and 96% efficient is that the heat produced by this, plus all the heat of the entire rest of the system, is that much more likely to overwhelm the cooling. So we have to use something that is the maximum, you know, this is the best that humanity can do in terms of efficiency.
This is our best chance, huh? So the for the Instinct stuff, is it 6 then total, I guess?
Yep, 6 total.
3 per.
Yep. But I think the MSRP on those is like $6,000–7,000. So this is a completely just crazy. And then, you know, if you're building a machine learning cluster for your large company, you're buying at least 2 of these. So like a normal cluster is going to be at least 3, probably 4 nodes. So you would buy at least 2 of these identical servers.
Early in the video, you mentioned a couple potential use cases, but expanding on that, if you're I guess on the smaller side company scale, not supercomputer university type stuff, what are you probably using a cluster of these for?
Probably some kind of research in machine learning. Probably biology, protein folding, AI, some kind of AI application where you're looking for the cure for cancer, something like that.
Yeah, so potentially medical uses and things like that.
Yep.
I'm sure, of course, there's always military uses for supercomputers as well. But
some of the premium for the price for this is because of Supermicro's engineering in the density of this.
Right.
Because there are universities and research institutions that have so many square foot for their data center. And you can upgrade the power, you can upgrade the cooling, but you can't just pull more square footage out of thin air.
Right.
You know, in California, New York.
It makes a lot of sense. Like, again, your Southern or Bay Area, California example, where to spend extra money on a server that's smaller, as opposed to spend extra money on land that does not exist.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, yeah. So it's much more common to see a configuration like this where you would open it up and you would have, you know, it would be recognizable as expansion slots. You wouldn't do the extra engineering to route it like this. But this is all about density.
Is this just standard M.2 over here? NVMe, I guess?
Yeah. 80 or 110 millimeter. And toolless.
Right.
Like, why do servers have toolless M.2 and we can't get that on the desktop? Why?
But I like it when they ship the really tiny screw in a large plastic bag.
This plastic retaining thing is probably less plastic than the bag.
It is definitely less plastic. Cool.
That's the level of engineering Supermicro's put into this. It is absolutely bananas.
I like how that's where you drew the line. The plastic clip for the NVMe drive.
Yep.
That's the level of engineering. It just sounds insulting at that point. So this is moved because we finished, and then we realized one more thing. So
there's M.2 or U.2 storage. In addition to the M.2, we also have U.2 storage. So you can put 15 terabytes of storage. We got some Micron 8 terabyte drives in here, 4 terabyte. We got Micron 4 terabyte drives in here, and this isn't shared storage or anything. This is just 2 of these drives are accessible to each node. But this is also really nice because if you're a cluster designer, you can have your operating system or your important data on your storage here, and if you need to swap a node or whatever, there it is.
Right. So that's cool. Also, it's a use of U.2.
Yeah, or U.3.
Oh, is that a thing now?
Yeah, U.3 is a thing. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, Supermicro has thought of everything. And then, you can also label it. You can get your labeler out.
Oh, okay, all right. That's the small quality of life features. You paid $70,000 for a server? Check it out. Yeah, this is cool. What are you gonna? What's your plan for doing stuff with it?
I'm gonna take ROCm 5 for a spin. So ROCm 5 has a lot of new features to make it easier to port your CUDA applications to ROCm, and you know, like most researchers, they just want to be up and running with their application. So it's like, I go to the GitHub tutorial, I download the GitHub tutorial, and I do stuff. But when you're really doing stuff like this in the Fortune 500, there are performance engineers that are saying, how can we optimize the software? We're not just interested in getting it running. We want it to run as well as possible. And so this platform with Instinct and everything else sort of enables that.
Sweet. And that'll be on Level1Techs, I assume.
Yes. We're going to do some videos, going to try to get ML perf working, see how this goes, and machine learning
ML
benchmarks.
Perf, David Cantor previously worked on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still does, but
I don't know. It's like, I have to look into that. I have some work to do on that myself. So
yeah.
This is a little bit new territory for me, because this is probably the most powerful system that I have ever taken a look at.
That's awesome. So if you want to learn more about it, check it out on Level1Techs. And thank you, Wendell, for the walkthrough and the. Whenever we do videos like this, it has a little bit of a cooking show vibe. But
well, it's like, this is the gourmet meal, and now we're going to go make some oatmeal for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot.
Gamers Nexus storage server, go!
So check that one out as well. Thank you for watching, everyone, and check out his videos. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you. Bye.